guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a what's for breakfast idea. I usually share what's for dinners every week, and I don't share what's for breakfast all that often because we typically eat a lot of the same things. But I had some new, different things that we tried, so I thought that I would share them with you, as well as at the very end I show you guys what a typical breakfast for us looks like. Okay, this morning I am making a ham and cheese bundt cake. So I've got my bundt pan. You don't need a lot for this. You could definitely customize it though and add more if you wanted to. You're gonna need 2 things of crescent rolls. We're gonna put some in there to form like the form of the cake. And then some of them are gonna go on top to kind of close it up. And then inside we are going to have some eggs. I'm gonna cook up 5 or 6 eggs over here in my skillet. And then we've got some ham. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to use yet, but I will let you know. And then I've got some Swiss cheese and some cheddar cheese. The original recipe that I found this from added spinach, but the kids aren't that fond of spinach, so I'm just gonna leave that out for this. I think tomato would be good in this as well. You could also not do ham, you could do bacon or sausage would be good. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on cooking the eggs. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and mix together our other ingredients with our eggs. Since the eggs are done, I am going to use this whole package of chopped ham. It does say a pound. So this is a pound. I'm just gonna add this all in, and I'm using this diced ham, which just makes it easy. It says you could use Canadian bacon and just chop it up, whatever you wanna do. But I found this on markdown at Kroger. So whenever I can find it on markdown, I love to buy it. Alright, now we don't want anything to stick to our bundt pan, so I have some Crisco vegetable shortening and a Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to go through and coat this thing really well so that our crescent roll dough does not stick. Okay, we are not going to separate this into the triangles, we are just going to separate it into the rectangles. So I think it's 4 rectangles per tube. So we're just going to take it like this and like lay it in there. We're going to kind of press the sides together so that they stick together. I still have 3 rectangles left. These are going to be used for the top. You're just going to want to kind of lay them in there the best that you can to cover the bottom. And now we are going to fill it with our egg, ham, and cheese mixture. Okay, now we're going to use the remaining crescent dough to cover the top. Okay, now into the oven on 375 degrees. This is going to go for 20 minutes. Here it is out of the oven. I'm just going to let it cool for a few minutes before I turn it out so we can cut it. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. I've let this cool for a little bit. I don't think it's stuck at all. Just go around, make sure it's not stuck. Okay, and now I'm going to use my pot holders and flip this over on my cutting board because it is still pretty hot. Yeah, it did not stick. It already started to slide out and I can't get it off. Yes, so pretty. Really glad it didn't stick. All right, and here is what it looks like. And it holds together pretty well. The inside swelled out a little bit. It's super cheesy, and I tasted the inside. It tastes delicious. And we'll probably serve that with some fruit. But that is one breakfast recipe. It's another day. It's the time for another breakfast idea. Today I'm going to be making 2-ingredient dough. I have shared this before, but it was 2-ingredient dough with some extra stuff, like cheese and garlic powder and onion powder. And sometimes we like that for breakfast, but most of the time we like those for like hamburgers or like lunch sandwiches or whatever. For breakfast, I usually just like to keep it plain. So we use some Greek yogurt and some self-rising flour. You could use all-purpose flour and then add baking soda and salt to it, but it's just easier to me to just buy self-rising flour just for this purpose. We're just going to do equal parts self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. Usually I do 2 cups and 2 cups, and that makes 8 buns, or you could also form them into bagel shapes. I usually just do buns because it's easier. You could still eat it with cream cheese or whatever if you wanted to. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure out. I'm probably going to do 2 cups, maybe 3 cups. We'll see. Whatever I end up doing, it'll be equal parts of both. Alright, it's starting to come together, but it's still a little bit crumbly. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of flour on here. I'm going to dump all this onto here and just kind of work it together with my hands. It is kind of sticky. It's going to stick to your hands. It is what it is. You can wash your hands afterwards. Okay, it's still sticky. It's always going to be a little bit sticky, but I have picked up and cleared off my cutting board mostly, got up all the crumbs, everything has come together. I formed it into a ball and kind of patted it down. Now I'm going to wash my hands, spray them with cooking spray, and then I'm going to cut this into 8 equal sections and roll them into the shape that I want them to be. And then these are going to go into the oven at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. Buns are done. I did let them sit for a few minutes to cool before I cut them open, and I made our breakfast sandwiches. So these are me and Andy's. We have American cheese, a bacon, and the egg. And the American cheese hasn't melted yet, but because the buns are still warm, it will start to melt. And then we each have a clementine. So these are both the same. And then the kids said they did not want egg, so they just have bacon and cheese. And then you see this, the cheese is starting to melt. It's already sticking to the bun. And then they have...
is mine.
And then they have apple with theirs. We still have this bacon left. I cooked it in the air fryer, 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, stirring pretty often. With these extra 4 buns, I am making some more eggs so that I can put together some breakfast sandwiches for Andy to take to work. But that is going to be breakfast for today. For this breakfast, I am trying to make a quiche for the first time. I've never actually made one. I was planning on making this like in the morning for breakfast, and then I was like, wow, a quiche is a lot of work. So I'm actually making this the night before, and then I'll just stick it in the fridge and reheat it in the microwave in the morning, because it's literally going to cook for like 40 minutes, which seems like a lot of time. So I am pressing the pie crust into my pie pan, and then I'm going to bake that at 400 degrees for 5 minutes. While that's in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and prep my other stuff. I've got 5 eggs and a can of evaporated milk that I'm going to whisk together with some salt and pepper. For some veggies in my quiche, I'm going to chop up some spinach. And then I'm also going to chop up some sun-dried tomatoes. Now I've got my crust out of the oven, and I turned the temperature down to 350. I'm going to start filling it. I've got some chopped up ham that was left over from Christmas that I pulled out of the freezer. And I'm going to add in my tomato and my spinach. And then I'm going to add on some cheese. And then I'm going to pour on half of the egg mixture. And then I'm going to repeat that. And then, as I said, this goes in a 350 degree oven for 40 minutes. And here is what the quiche looked like when it came out of the oven. It is so browned, and this thing was really delicious, although I was the only one who really liked it. The kids kind of picked at it. I think it was the spinach that really turned them off. Andy didn't like the texture of the egg, so I probably won't make another quiche, but I did really like it. Okay, for the last meal in this What's for Dinner video, I thought I would share with you guys what we typically eat for breakfast on like every day. I feel like 9 times out of 10, this is what we're having because it's just quick and easy, and that's what I want in the morning, because I think I've said it before, I'm not a morning person. You guys ask me to do these What's for Dinner videos, and this is the reason why I don't, because it would be very boring. Bless you. If I just shared the same plate every single day. So for the kids, they have peanut butter toast. They usually always have toast. Sometimes it's just butter, sometimes it's peanut butter. And then I do wheat toast because fiber. And then we've got some apple. We always have fruit. Sometimes it's grapes. We've got a cantaloupe that we're going to cut up once we're out of apples. Elijah doesn't like the oranges. Lily does, but I think she prefers the apple. And then they've got some scrambled eggs. So that's their plates. Always scrambled eggs, fruit, and toast pretty much every single morning. And then Andy and I, sometimes we'll do an omelet, but a lot of the times this is just easier. So it's cheddar cheese. Sometimes we use American cheese, 1 egg, and then we don't have bacon or anything. I mean, I could have cooked it, but just to make it super easy, this is just some lunch meat ham. I just put it in the skillet for a couple minutes to warm it up. So that's what we eat. And then also some fruit. We both have a clementine. That is what our everyday breakfast looks like. If you like this What's for Breakfast video, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.